Hi viewers, this is the riveting story of Eun-woo Kang, the ruthlessly efficient, ice-cold boss of Seoul's most powerful criminal enterprise who believed he was biologically cursed to never have an heir. And in Chidin-ma-jan, the woman who secretly sheltered his impossible miracles for 7 long years. When 3 dangerously brilliant triplets decide to track down their biological father themselves, the delicate balance of the city's underworld, and Eun-woo Kang's life shatters completely. It's a tale of buried secrets, explosive reunions, and the blood ties that demand loyalty. A tale that will hold you captive until the very end. The top floor of the Platinum Tower, the undeclared headquarters of the Kang Syndicate, was never supposed to be silent. It was usually a low thrum of hushed deals, expensive cigars, and tense meetings. But now, in the sprawling, gold-plated reception area, the silence was total. Guards in sharp black suits froze, hands hovering near their earpieces, as 3 small children walked through the reinforced security doors with unnerving poise. The tallest child, a boy who couldn't have been more than 7, approached the onyx reception desk and looked up at the visibly shaking man behind it. "We need to see Mr. Eun-woo Kang," he stated in perfect, formal Korean, his voice steady. "It's urgent. We are his children." The receptionist stammered, his eyes darting to the heavy vault door leading to the inner offices. Around the massive, empty lobby, the tension was palpable. No one, absolutely no one, ever disrupted the boss. His children. The man finally managed, his voice cracking. "Yes," the girl standing beside the boy confirmed, stepping slightly forward. "We have proof." Across the gleaming nightscape of Seoul, past the legal banks and the legitimate businesses, one name commanded fear and absolute obedience. Eun-woo Kang. At 34, he was not just wealthy, he was power. The unquestioned head of the Kang Syndicate, he controlled everything from high-stakes gambling rings to untraceable digital currency flows. His decisions could end careers, ruin fortunes, or extinguish lives with a whisper. They called him Iron Hand Kang, not for cruelty, but for the impossible, almost chilling control he maintained over his emotions and his domain. Where other bosses might sweat with rage or panic during police raids or rival territory clashes, Eun-woo Kang remained perfectly composed, his expression never revealing the lethal calculations happening behind those deep, intelligent eyes. He was handsome in a way that commanded respect and distance, sharp, dangerous features that seemed carved from granite. His custom-tailored suits were armor. His relationships were clinical and strictly functional. A beautiful partner for a diplomatic dinner, a brief fling to manage appearances, nothing more. He attended events with women who were beautiful, compliant, and who understood they would vanish from his life as quickly as they arrived. No one lasted. No one was allowed to matter. The rumors had started years ago and were known throughout the city's underground. Why would a man who commanded legions remain so completely alone? Why did he deflect every suggestion of marriage or family with that chilling composure? The whispered answer, known only to his closest and most loyal lieutenants, was biological and absolute. Eun-woo Kang could never father children. Multiple, discreet specialists in foreign clinics had confirmed it years ago. The diagnosis had been a devastating, private wound, buried instantly beneath layers of absolute power and professional ruthlessness. He was infertile, a man who could command an army but couldn't create a single successor. He had made peace with it, or rather, had murdered the part of himself that cared. Tonight, he sat in his penthouse office overlooking the Han River, the city lights spread beneath him like diamonds. Financial reports for his legitimate fronts glowed on multiple screens, but he was reviewing surveillance photos of a rival's movements. A half-finished glass of expensive scotch sat untouched. His dedicated, encrypted phone buzzed. His right-hand man, Captain Shin, was on the line. "Boss!" Captain Shin's voice was tight, unusual for the veteran enforcer. "I apologize for the disturbance, but there is a severe complication downstairs requiring your presence." Eun-woo Kang's fingers stopped over his keyboard. Shin never spoke of complications lightly. "What complication?" "Sir, 3 children have bypassed security and are in the lobby. They claim to be your children. They have documentation." The world tilted. For several seconds, Eun-woo Kang couldn't process the words. They were illogical. "That is impossible," he said, his tone flat, final. "They insist, boss, and the documents they are carrying, they look real. Security doesn't know how to handle this without. I am coming down." Eun-woo Kang stood, the deep leather of his chair squeaking as he pushed back. In a small, airless apartment in a bustling, working-class neighborhood across the city, In-chidinma was frantic. She had just returned from a tiring job interview, hopeful, ready to pick up her children from school. But the teacher had met her at the gate with a look of confusion. "They left hours ago," the teacher had explained. "I saw them walk out the side gate right after you dropped them off." In-chidinma's blood had turned to ice. She was now calling their phones repeatedly, each voicemail raising her panic to a fever pitch. Where were Emeka, Chisholm, and Ijoma, her triplets, her entire world? She had raised them alone for 7 years. 7 years of tireless, grinding work, freelance design, late-night translation, private tutoring, stretching everyone until it screamed. 7 years of being both mother and father, answering their questions about their missing Appa, and celebrating their terrifying brilliance. They were impossible children, reading in 3 languages by age 4, Ijoma tinkering with basic code by 5, Chisholm solving complex algebra by 6. But In-chidinma never pushed them. Their genius was natural. She knew exactly where it came from, the man they had never met. She had met him 7 years ago at a business gala she was working at. She was new to Korea, a Nigerian woman with luminous, dark skin and a brilliant, easy smile, always struggling with the language and the cold feeling of being an outsider. That night, he had approached her. He had been charming, attentive, different from the remote figure she'd observed earlier. They had talked for hours about technology, about her digital marketing dreams, about the isolation of ambition. He had listened like her words held actual value. One drink had become several. One conversation had become something unforgettable. She had woken up alone. No note, no number. Just rumpled hotel sheets and the faint trace of an expensive, masculine cologne. And a black comb he'd left on the bathroom counter. She kept it, not out of romance, but because she'd been too rushed and ashamed to throw it away. It sat forgotten for weeks until she realized the impossible truth. She was pregnant. The pregnancy had been a terror in a foreign land. When the ultrasound revealed triplets, she hadn't cried. She'd laughed, a harsh, hysterical sound. 3 bobbies, 3 lives depending on her. She had tried to find him, searching company websites and social media, but she only had his first name, Eun-woo, and that he worked in high finance tech. Useless information in a city of millions. She gave up, decided she would do this alone. And she had. In-chidinma's phone blared, making her gasp. Unknown number, she answered immediately. "Emeka, Chisholm, Ijoma. Is this Ms. In-chidinma John?" A professional male voice asked in clipped Korean. Yes, who is this? Do you have my children? This is Captain Shin, head of security at Platinum Tower. Your children are here, ma'am. They are safe. Relief flooded her body so intensely she nearly passed out. Safe? Where? What are they doing at that tower? A brief, pregnant silence. Ma'am, I believe it is critical you come in person. Mr. Kang is requesting your immediate presence. I'm sending a car to your location now. The line went dead. Kang's syndicate. Platinum Tower. Eun-woo Kang. It hit her with the force of a physical blow. Her children had found their father, the man she knew only as Eun-woo. The elevator ride down to the lobby was agonizing. Eun-woo Kang stood motionless, but inside, his reality was crumbling. Children, 3 of them claiming to be his, impossible. The doctors had been certain, and yet the elevator doors opened. The lobby was absolutely silent. The path was clear to the reception desk. He stared at 3 small figures, their hands linked, their small faces turned toward him with an identical expression of steely nervousness. 3 children, maybe 7 years old, 2 boys and a girl, school uniforms neat but slightly worn. And they looked exactly like him. The resemblance was impossible to deny. The same dark, intense eyes, the same sharp jawline just starting to form, the same defiant set to their mouths. Even the way they stood, shoulders back, radiating a quiet intelligence, was painfully familiar. Eun-woo Kang stopped a few feet away. His voice, usually a whip crack, was quiet, almost hesitant. "Who are you?" The tallest boy, Emeka, spoke first. "My name is Emeka. These are my siblings, Chisum and Ijoma. We are triplets." He paused, then added with the terrifying confidence of a small child speaking an irrefutable truth. "And you are our father." Eun-woo Kang felt a cold wave of disbelief. "That is impossible." "The DNA test says otherwise," the girl, Chisum, countered. She held out a plain manila folder with both hands. He took it automatically. His hands, which had signed orders that sent men to the hospital, trembled as he opened it. The results were professional, legitimate. His name was clearly printed. Below it, 3 names: Emeka John, Chisum John, Ijoma John. And the probability of paternity: 99.99% for all 3. "This is," he couldn't finish. "True," Emeka finished for him. "We know you didn't know about us. Our mother never told you. She couldn't find you, but we found you ourselves." "Your mother," the word felt foreign and heavy. "In Chidinma," Chisum explained. "She's from Nigeria. She met you 7 years ago at the Shilla Hotel Mixer." Memories slammed into him. The forbidden night of unguarded conversation, too much champagne, the woman whose laugh made the cold world disappear. He had left before dawn, a mistake he'd forgotten until this very moment. "You did this test yourselves?" he asked, his voice rough. 3 small heads nodded in unison. "How did you get my DNA?" "You left a comb," Ijoma said. 7 years ago, you left it in our bathroom drawer. We found it a few months ago." Another memory, showering at her place before the hasty departure. He had used a comb. He must have left it in his desperate, cowardly rush to escape commitment. "We ordered a kit online," Emeka continued. "Yours from the comb, ours from our cheeks. When the results came back, we researched you. It wasn't hard. You're famous. Your organization's address is public." Eun-woo Kang looked at these 3 impossible, brilliant children and felt the iron casing around his heart begin to crack. "Does your mother know you're here?" he asked quietly. 3 heads shook. "No. Does anyone know where you are?" "The school thinks we went home sick," Emeka admitted. "We took the subway. We needed to meet you," Ijoma added simply. His security detail was paralyzed. Captain Shin stood motionless by the elevator. The boss knelt down slowly, bringing himself to their eye level. He saw the subtle wear on their shoes, the faint exhaustion around their eyes, his children, his blood, his unforgivable absence. "Are you hungry?" he asked. They nodded, relief washing over their faces. "Come with me." Emeka took his offered hand. Upstairs in his penthouse office, the children stared at the sprawling city. While food was discreetly ordered, Eun-woo Kang listened. They told him about their tiny apartment, about their mother who never stopped working, about teaching themselves coding and languages, about splitting chores because they knew money was tight. They spoke without meaning to, detailing 7 years of struggle he could have annihilated with a single phone call. The guilt was a physical blow. "We're not here for money," Emeka stated, reading his thoughts. "Mama would be angry if she knew we came. We just wanted to know what our father was like, and we wanted you to know we exist," Ijoma finished. His encrypted phone buzzed. "Captain Shin. Boss, I have the information on In Ketchi. She is now inbound. School called her when the children didn't return. She'll arrive in about 10 minutes. Eun-woo Kang hung up. "Your mother is coming." Fear flashed across their faces. "Are we in trouble?" Chisholm whispered. "Yes," he said honestly. Then, surprising himself, he added, "But I'll take most of the blame." 10 minutes later, the reinforced door opened. Inchidinma burst in, relief and righteous fury battling on her face. "Emeka, Chisholm, Ijoma." She dropped to her knees, pulling all three into a fierce, protective hug. "What were you thinking? Do you have any idea how scared I was?" She stood slowly, keeping her children shielded behind her, her eyes locking onto his. 7 years had passed, but her presence was just as captivating. "Hello, Inchidinma," Eun-woo Kang said quietly. "You," she breathed. "Me," he confirmed. "I tried to find you," she hissed, her voice tight with years of repressed pain. "I had nothing but a first name, and you left me alone, pregnant in a country where I had no one. You're sorry." 7 years, she repeated, her voice rising to a crescendo. 7 years of struggling and stretching myself to exhaustion, and you say you're sorry? "Yes," Eun-woo Kang said simply, his composure finally breaking to reveal the honesty beneath. "I'm sorry. I should have been less of a coward. I didn't know I can't have children. Multiple doctors confirmed it." "Clearly, they were wrong," Inchidinma replied, the fire in her eyes unwavering. Silence stretched between them, heavy with missed moments and sacrifice. "What happens now?" Inchidinma finally asked, her voice small. Eun-woo Kang looked at his children, at their brave faces, and at the fierce, beautiful woman who had raised them into little geniuses. "Now," he said, meeting her eyes, "I meet my children properly, and then we figure out how to be a family." Thank you for watching. What do you think will happen when the Ice Hand Mafia Boss is forced to navigate playdates and parent-teacher meetings? Will Inchidinma forgive him for his 7 years of unforgivable absence? Will Eun-woo Kang's underworld rivals try to use his secret children against him? Find out in episode 2, coming soon. If you're new here, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Your country might inspire our next story. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you in the next episode.